It's time, everybody. May I direct your mind and ears
to the center of the ring.
Al centro of the octagon, if you will.
Or maybe within the confines of the cage.
Remember, peeps, every fighter has a voice, and so do you on AM 1680. The Voice. The Voice. The Voice. The Voice.
With your fight-talking host,
Richard Ortiz.
Don't hit me, Rich. Don't hit me.
Just break me down with some of that fight talk. The Fighter's Voice. Right here, every Saturday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. And again on Sundays from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. And remember, every fighter has a voice. And so do you. So let's get ready to you know what. Right here on The Fighter's Voice.
Welcome, everybody. We're live stream here on Richard Ortiz Facebook page, The Fighter's Voice radio show. Before we get started, we got an outstanding special show today. We got Jeremy Luchau in the house. We got Richard Torrez Jr. and Sr. in the house. And we got the co-host, the Apache Kid, the UFC veteran, the one, the only, the first, the last. And I can go on, and that's Mr. Co Escovedo. And he's going to start the show off by knocking out these Bills.
Man. Knockout. Sweep.
Yes.
Sweep the leg, Johnny. Something
yes.
like that? Yeah. No. As always, Serrano's Furniture, they're family owned. They've been doing it since '86. They've got 9 locations. So if you're looking for something to do in the Valley, don't mess with my pizza, man. They've been doing it in Bakersfield, Delano, Dinuba, Fresno, Madera, Tulare, Visalia, Porterville, Hanford. I mean, it's almost like an alphabetical list of where these guys are in the Valley. So, again, 9 locations, family owned since '86. They got the summer sizzle deal going on. I drove by again. Like,
did you?
Yeah, I just like 40-50% off, man. I got to go in. Like, when I drop my kid off at school, I'm just going to and I'm just going to walk in. And
so are you going directly to the beds? You want to get a bed? Is that what you're looking at?
If I had room, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I might take a look at them sweet-ass futons, though.
Oh, okay. Well, there you are.
Ladies like a futon.
There you are. Yes. I can tell we're going to have a great show tonight. So, who else is knocking out our Bills, my man?
Main Event Gym, man.
Yes.
They be swinging bags and soaking up sweat. You want to sweat, you want to punch something, you want to run on something, hit them up, give them a chance. Main Event Gyms in Fresno as well. They're the ones helping you keep all these pretty lights on.
Absolutely. Main Event's Gym. This evening's show is being streamed live on my Facebook page, Richard Ortiz. Share it to the Fighter's Voice FM page. Yeah, you like that? You like that? Coming pretty soon. The Fighter's Voice stream team. I like the stream team. Where is the rest of the team? They're out and about. Actually, I called Rao, and he said he's on the way over here.
Is he en route?
Yes, he is. Hey, go to the Instagram. Subscribe to the page at The Fighter's Voice. Follow us, please, because we need all the followers we can get. Tonight's show is being engineered by Jose at Cage Side. Like I said, we have co-host, the Apache Kid, Mr. Co Escovedo, knocking out the entire show. With his own segment. Really going to interrupt? With his own segment called Cole's Beatdown. And Cole, you're going to be telling everybody what's going on in the world of MMA.
The world.
Yes. And now with us tonight
we got a good
559 Jeremy Luchau, who's putting together his biggest MMA event this September 22nd at Harley-Davidson of Fresno, who is here in studio with us. And I'm going to put him on the spot. He's giving away tickets today because we have a very...
Jeremy's like, I'm giving away what?
Yes, because we have an important announcement to make. Now, if anybody can guess or come close to the announcement that the Fighter's Voice radio show is making, you're going to get a set of tickets.
Man.
Jeremy just likes to give stuff away.
Do we have the same announcement?
Yes, I think we do.
We might.
We might. So we got Jeremy Luchau in the house, and he promises that it's going to be a knockout night of MMA action. I can go on and on, Mr. Engineer, if you're ready. Now back to Cage Side. Ladies and gentlemen, for your main event of the evening, fighting out of the red corner, 559 fights himself, Jeremy Luchau. And his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner, Mr. Announcer. Yeah, that's when I challenged him. He was getting ready to kick my ass that day, so, I kind of took myself off there right now.
Spooked him a little.
Jeremy, welcome to the show, my man.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Hey, man, I can't wait to get you on and get the mic on because I saw that fight look in you when I said, hey, we're running a little behind, and you just go, yeah, okay, Rich, okay.
Nah, I know how it goes.
Okay, he's a professional. He knows that.
Yes,
hey,
he
be a
is.
professional. Hand me that jar of pens, man.
Oh, I got you.
Oh, boy, man.
The whole jar.
The whole jar.
The whole bar. Don't just give me one pen, baby. Give me the whole jar.
Do you really want to tell Jeremy what you put inside that jar? Let's not, or is that a different show? Should we say that for the podcast?
Man, it's a swear. See the sad face? It's a swear jar.
Swear jar. Okay.
Anytime I drop like an F-bomb or something that makes a kid go, Mommy, then
hey, no more F-bomb. Hey, you know what? F-bomb. Someone dropped the F-bomb on the show, caused me a live show.
Man.
But it's okay. That's just radio. That's the way it goes, you know.
It happens.
It does happen. Speaking of happen, tell us what's going to happen September 22nd.
Yeah, man. September 22nd, we're going to go down to Harley Davidson in Fresno, out there on West Shaw. It's a new venue for 5-9 fights. You know what I mean? We're gonna drop the cage right there in their parking lot. We got some pretty cool stuff that's going on out there with the bikes, and it's good. You know, everyone around the valley for the last year and a half, 2 years has been kind of following Albert Gonzalez in his career. He's gonna finish off his last amateur fight there. So it's pretty exciting stuff. He's gonna be fighting for a state title. We got I think it's like 17 fights booked right now. It's a pretty big card.
Wow.
That's a big card.
Yeah, pretty big card. You know what I mean?
When are you gonna start that at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon?
Nah, man, that's way too hot for that. We're gonna start when it starts getting a little bit dark. But yeah, it's an exciting show. We've been doing really well. The fights have been awesome. This crop of amateurs right now that are coming through the ranks are a lot of the bigger name guys are starting to go professional, and it's a good time. It's an exciting time for MMA in the Valley.
You mentioned that, and that's right off of Shaw, right off of 98, right off of Shaw.
Yep.
Correct.
Yeah.
Wow, that's right there. Yeah, in the outside event
Big
right
ass
there.
parking lot.
You got people passing by. I expect that show to blow up. Let us know who is one of the headliners. You mentioned the name before. What can the fans expect? Action from start to finish. Who's in the middle? I know you got your eye on something, and you're saying to yourself, "My gosh, that's going to be a good fight." Just having him on the card.
I mean, I really, it's really about Albert. You know what I mean?
Okay.
There's all the fights are great fights. I don't want to say anything like that. But Albert is a guy that's never backed down from a fight. Said yes to virtually every guy that we put in front of him. Had tens of guys say no to fighting him. You know what I mean? So it's kind of his swan song, his kind of, his moving on, and those are always fights that I look forward to. The amateurs kind of last hurrah before they go into the pro ranks. You know what I mean? You see that, and you're kind of like a proud dad in a way. You know what I mean? I watched this guy come through my system. You know what I mean? When I first started watching him, I was like, and you see them kind of progress. And you finally say, "Hey, man, it's time for you to get the call up and do something a little different," And
it's one of those kind of move on or move aside kind of things, like make a decision.
It's Albert and I had some conversations, and he asked me my opinion on some stuff, and I said, "Yeah, man, it's time. You're gonna fight pretty tough fights in a row. You know what I'm saying?
You're gonna find out what you're made of.
You're gonna find out what you're made of. You know what I mean? And by that time, it's time for you to go pro. You know what I mean? And by no means is it all about money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's about taking your career to a next level and restarting. You know what I mean? You can only do so much. Well, and
anybody who doesn't really listen to you, we were talking about this outside. Anybody who doesn't really listen to Jeremy, as far as like, hey man, here's how you do it. Like he literally wrote a blueprint for Alex, and look at where Alex is at. Literally, and like he says, Alex listened to everything that we told.
I want to say this, Cole. I've watched Jeremy, and I've watched different sides to him, but it wasn't until I had him on, I think it was about maybe the second show. Jeremy's Achilles heel is he actually cares for the fighter. And let me tell you this. There's a lot of promoters that's business, and you try not to get that attachment. But emotionally, spiritually, he gets attached to certain fighters. Like when he said, what other promoter would say, "Hey, it's all about art," as opposed to, "Oh yeah, come here, we're stacked, we're this," and his attachment is, and he takes them as he would his own son. And then we're going to talk about his son later on in the show. But I admire that, I respect that, and that's worked for you.
Yeah, and I've said it a million times. Like, and Cole knows, man, he's been around the business for a long time. If you think that you're in this business solely to make money in the MMA industry, you're in the wrong business. I'm really in this business because I really truly enjoy the people that I'm around, and I get up every morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, and can enjoy work.
It's like
I could work all day. There's not a day that goes like, man, I got to do this.
Yeah.
So, and you fall in love with people. You become really good friends with people. You help people achieve their dreams.
Yeah.
You see other people's. I see more often than not guys that don't ever achieve their dreams. Stumble from the path, or just stop doing things. So, again, when there's times where you see a guy like Evan Solario come through the amateur ranks, you know what I mean? You see guys like the Avalos brothers, you see guys, Albert, you see a lot of these guys, these kids, man, and they grew up here in the Valley, small towns, Parlier, Carruthers, some of these, Kermans, the Mendotas, all these small towns and Fresno and stuff, and they're able to accomplish dreams, that they didn't think they would ever be able to accomplish. You know what I mean? They may have started down paths, like Albert. He started down the wrong path. And he needed to change his life and do something different. Now he's doing something different.
Well, you gave them that escape, and you gave him a chance to, how can I say it? What's the word I'm looking for? Where you just want to express yourself. And fortunately, he expressed himself with two good hands.
Give him a platform,
Absolutely.
an avenue, a direction.
Absolutely.
And sometimes that's what people need. They just need it,
Absolutely. In the morning at work, sometimes I'm having a bad day, and I'll talk to a buddy. And then I'll thank him afterwards. I'll say, bro, thanks for letting me vent. Because I had to get that out of my system compared to taking it in with the rest of the job with me and so forth. And a lot of times, you give that platform for those fighters that are going through different things. They're able to focus themselves, whether it's family, personal, or what have you. That's their avenue. That's their way of letting loose. Now, speaking of letting loose, we're about to let loose some commercials. We're about to take a commercial break, but we're going to come right back with Jeremy, and we're going to talk about Jeremy's offspring, his pride and joy, his son, as we come back here on AM 1680, The Fighter's Voice.
You are listening to The Fighter's Voice on AM 1680.
Right now, we gotta take a break.
Pay some bills. So be ready for some head banging, lip smacking, heart attacking, fight talk. Because every fighter has a voice.
Eat on the way over.
He doesn't eat simple food. Hey, do we have napkins right there now? How much time do I have?
Not too much time, because we're not going to do any editing. We're going to go right to YouTube. So you can just jump on here. Yeah. So, will you let me know about your boy? Well, how we go? I'm gonna let you bring that up, okay? Because I
already brought it up, right?
Yeah, I already did. I mean, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Because I want to ask what he's gonna do next. Is he gonna fight? I'm gonna ask that match.
Oh yeah.
All right, I'm about to wipe my hand on my shirt.
There you go. Let's rock and roll, baby. Come on. Yes, sir.
Pizza, bro. I'm starving.
I don't know how to take this dude sometimes. When I first met him, I was going, man, really? But he was all business, man.
Who?
And then I realized you don't talk to a promoter when he's freaking working. He don't care. He got to get down from A to B and C, and you're just in his way.
Why? What happened?
Oh, no. Long story. When I first met Jeremy.
Don't hit me, Rich. Don't hit me.
Just break me down with some of that fight talk. The Fighter's Voice. Right here. And remember, every fighter has a voice. And so do you. So let's get ready to you know what. Right here on The Fighter's Voice.
And we're back live streaming here in Fresno, California. 1680 AM, The Fighter's Voice. Voiceography at its finest. Every fighter has a voice, and so does our guest, the promoter, 559 Fights, Mr. Jeremy Luchau. This is part 2, and it's called The World of MMA. This is the part of the show, Jeremy, where just Cole beats it down.
That doesn't sound good.
I know, but you know what I'm talking about. The Cole beat down.
Jeez Louise.
Hey, you prepped me for that, my man. So let us know what's going on in the world of MMA.
No, I feel you. We got to come up with a better tagline than Cole beats down. That's just...
I already paid for that, man.
Did you really?
Yes, I did. But no, not yet. We can change it then.
Okay. Hey, but if you paid for it, baby, I'll roll with it.
Okay. All right.
I'll find a way to make it work. No. But what we got coming up as far as like the world of MMA, I'm going to hit some high points and some low points. I got something on here I want to talk about, though.
Yes.
That we need to get on the same page about, because I don't want to say it before you do, but it falls into my thing of stuff to talk about. So
then hand me a note.
Man. Okay.
No, we'll finish the...
Yeah, okay. So, we already talked about the Prospect show coming up. We talked about that. We talked about Jeremy's show coming up. Next week, we've got for your, maybe not MMA guys, but for your grappling guys, your jiu-jitsu guys, your Nogi World guys, things like that. There's stuff like that goes on. We just had IBJJF, IBJJF, the International Championship.
Right.
We had a lot of Fresno golds, by the way.
Good.
Guys like Angel Lopez. I think Fowler pulled a medal. It might have been silver, I think.
Right.
Lots of local guys pulling championship level medals, by the way. So this is for guys like that, and for your listeners that are just they want to do stuff like that,
Yeah.
but they're not fighters. It's NAGA, huge North American Grappling Association type championship level stuff. That's going on next week, is September 8th. You're going to have to peek into that one a little bit if you want to know where it's at. I want you to go to their website, and I want you to check out their stuff because they have a list of events coming up.
Yeah.
I don't want to just tell you about one because one leads into the next, into the other. It's like a competition tour. And then also next week, we've got an event called Rumble at the Roseland. So this is going to be next week. It's Rumble on the Roseland 99, or at the Roseland. It's in an area that I feel would be awesome to go see one day. It's up in Portland, Oregon. It's a show that's going to be doing up at Portland. It's called At the Roseland 99. That's for your...
Now, why would you mention
it's
Oregon?
for your Northern America
You can't
listeners.
be spilling the beans just yet and mention
It's
Oregon.
for your Northern America listeners. They have MMA up there, too.
Okay.
So for those listening,
Yeah.
there's a show for you to go check out in your neck of the woods.
Yes.
Also, something that's coming up, I don't want to say too much about it. It's going to be a higher caliber level show from the way it was described to me. That's coming around on the 28th. That's coming to Fresno. So I know who the co-main is. I don't want to do anything so we can get him on the show and get him locked up for
you're
an
still
interview.
waiting for that.
Yeah, so, but I know that show's coming. It's going to be on
The
the
28th September?
Yeah, September 28th. It's going to be at Fresno.
Who's
It's
the
gonna be-
promoter?
it's going to be called Legacy Fighting Alliance, LFA. It's supposed to be like the new show,
Okay.
the way it was described to me as far as the next step up.
Okay.
So if you want to go to the next
It's not a
stage-
promoter we mentioned last time when we had Chris Honeycutt on the show, was it? No?
I don't...
I'm just making sure.
I don't want to like cross-contaminate stuff.
okay,
So
okay, my bad.
We'll leave it at that.
Okay.
But one of the guys I know really well is supposed to be co-maining on that, and I want to get him on. But right now, I
do
want
it.
fans to know that is coming up. It will be an event
Get him
in
on what?
Fresno.
Get him on what,
Get him
Cole?
on this, man. The fighter's voice. I want people
Okay.
to hear his voice.
Okay.
He's got a beautiful singing voice. I want
Okay.
people to hear his voice.
Okay.
Well, we already love the guy. So
I mean, you're talking like there's some new shows coming up or something. I don't know.
But then finally, while I got 2 minutes left, what I wanted to talk about last week, and we're gonna have to bring him on, is Doug the Rhino Marshall.
Okay.
He's going to be doing something that's coming up, and I think it almost might be something to do with something else going on in California. But I know he's fighting. So for you local fans, Doug the Rhino down there in Visalia, he's fighting again. He's going to announce what he's fighting on here real shortly, but we're going to try to get a chance to bring him on in the next week.
Why
or so.
wait for him to announce it? Let him announce it on the show.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. We're going
love
to
it.
bring him on, and I'm going to tell him to kind of keep his mouth shut and say, look, dude, we're going to bring you on, have him call in or something and say,
There you go.
what is it?
There you go. There you
Okay.
go. There you go. I'm going to put the man on the spot right now. Okay? I talked about his Achilles heel, how he has a good heart right here. No, but we're going to talk about him opening up his heart right now. And let's talk about this young talent that has your DNA. And I'm talking about your son. I mean, sky's the limit. I mean, good-looking kid, very talented, and the world is his.
Yeah, man. I mean, he's come a long way. You try to be a little bit humble when you're talking about your kid, right? Because you don't want to pump him up a little bit too much. But he's definitely a kid that's, I mean, followed the plan, He's never steered away from, I said wrestled 200 matches this year. He wrestled 200 matches, He's a lot like Alex. He's always followed the plan, and, he had an awesome summer. He took a second and a third at World Team Trials. He took a fifth and a seventh, I believe, in Fargo at Nationals, and it pushed him with his ranking all the way up to number 2 in the country. And he's going to be wrestling October 7th at an event called Who's Number One, which is they basically put the number 1 kid in the country versus who they feel is the next best kid. It's almost like an MMA card in a way. Each weight class has like the number 1 and the number 2 guy.
Yeah.
It's like they got rankings fighting all in one night.
Yeah. And then
Different brackets?
Yeah, and then there's no bracket. They just just one match. They wrestle each other, and then that person walks away with the number 1 ranking.
So none of this, okay, let's see if we meet at the end. Let's just meet.
Yeah, hey, you're number 1, you're number 2. You guys are wrestling for the number 1 spot in the country. Whoever wins this is going to enter the season the number 1 kid in the nation.
Yeah,
You and you are wrestling for second place. You and you are wrestling for
No,
third.
they don't even do that. It's just
No
the number
way.
1 guys. That's it.
That's it.
Remember back in the day, UFC, Hoist Gracie versus Ken Shamrock. Well, they put them in different brackets. And then one day, I mean, Gracie would continue to go and Shamrock gets beat, or Shamrock kept going and then Gracie got hurt.
So you'd never really get to see them.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
they just said, let's put together a super fight.
Yeah,
so they just had a
that's
vote.
exactly what it is. It's
Wrestling
whoever-
super fight on the highest level you can get.
Yeah,
right?
it's on Flow Wrestling. You know what I mean? And
I've watched some of
Yeah.
that, by the way. That's actually really good coverage.
Super dope,
Not
man.
to
They do
kiss their
awesome.
butt, but they do a really good job of giving you accurate views.
When's this
correct
taking place?
views.
October 7th at Lehigh University in Pennsylvania.
We got to get the young man on the
You
show.
go out to Pennsylvania?
Yeah, he's gonna go out there, man.
Let's give him some
Do
exposure.
you
Let's
get to
get him
go?
on the show in
I'm
October.
going, man, yeah.
Dude, I was
Right
like,
before.
I know Jason's going, but his dad gets to go.
Yeah.
Shoot,
You know,
he's
I
going
try.
everywhere.
I'm 50-50. You know, I let him travel the world by himself for a lot of the stuff. You know what I mean? And he's got I look at it as preparation for college because I can't follow him everywhere. Even though we kind of joke, him and I kind of have a
Being
joke.
on his own.
You know, me and him have like an ongoing joke. Like wherever he goes to school, I'm gonna follow him. We're gonna have a bachelor pad together. You know what I mean? And we're just gonna party for the rest of our lives together. You know,
I got my 16-year-old's got the same approach.
Yeah.
It's like, dude,
but
we're gonna get
at the end of the day,
apartment.
he's gonna go off and do his own thing, man. He's he's got some visits lined up. He's gonna go visit Oklahoma State, North Carolina, Maryland. He visits Fresno State this weekend. He's kind of holding on to his 5th visit to see some. You know, he's talking to like multiple other schools, and he kind of wants to hold on to it and kind of decide where he wants.
Kind of like
to
a wild card
Kinda,
pick.
yeah,
I never thought about going here, and I hear cool things about here.
He's super different, man. Like Jace is really doesn't really care about like what your school looks like, what your wrestlings look like how many singlets you're gonna get, what shoe company sponsor. He doesn't care about none of that stuff, bro. He meets a coach and he's like, I think that coach would sock somebody in the face for me. You know what I mean? And he's like,
he either has a rapport or he doesn't.
Yeah, like he's just like, if that coach is gonna go to war with me, like I'm ready.
I would go to war with that
I want to
coach,
wrestle
yeah.
with that guy.
He sees what other kids don't. They're busy on the jerseys and what am I going to do or where's the girls at? And you just see something.
Every kid's, you know,
Every kid's different.
reasons for what they want to go do is different. You know what I mean?
I like
and
that.
To his fault too, he's not looking at like what school has the best academics or things like that. You know what I mean? Like.
Well, his mindset is it says you as a leader. How are you going to lead me to a championship? I'm as good as I think I am. I need you to lead me even farther. So that's what he's looking for.
He's just an old school gangster, bro.
Yeah.
Like he's literally like an Italian mafia gangster.
I love it.
Like
I love
that's
that.
the way my kid is.
I love it.
Wow.
Are you sure you don't want him fighting?
Soprano
I can
status.
already.
I
already like this kid. The idea, man.
I don't want him to fight, man. I don't. But
I know.
he's going to fight.
But you have so much
He's going
knowledge.
to fight.
Man.
Is the end of this? Like there's no
Ifs or buts.
No
to it.
stopping it. No stopping it.
Yeah, he came home from Fargo. You know what I mean? He was home for one day. Alex called him and said he needed to work. You know, wanted a workout partner. And Jace hopped on the bus, went down to Irvine, and
Said, "I'm gone."
trained with Alex and Chito Vera for their fights in LA.
But dude,
you know
hey,
what I mean?
look at the bright side. It's not like he's going to be training in a garage with nobody who knew nothing. He's going to get like high level UFC caliber.
Colin Oyama already got dibs on him.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I
Already.
imagine those guys are just licking their chops, going, "Give us to him."
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, when you have all the tools and all the attributes right there, everybody wants to work with you. You're like, he's going to be a coach's dream. He just got to put in the work.
Yeah.
And when you got some kids that are divas and what have you, and this kid's blue collar, and
Slows it down. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. We got to get him on the show, man. I would with Dad, let him make up his mind. Let him know there's an invitation there.
I let him know about tonight, man, and he was like, "Dad, I need to get my 5 miles in." And I said, "Okay."
Oh, there you go.
You know what I mean?
I like it already, man.
Hey, but just
respect that.
tell him, hey, Cole would like to pick your brain a little. He'd like to see some answers you got to some of these questions. He thinks he hears you wants to fight. He wants to just hear your answers so he can say, okay, I want to try to see what kind of direction the kid wants to go in with a little bit. I want to pick his brain. Like, I'm intrigued. Like, Jace really intrigues me with his work ethic and stuff.
We're going to take a commercial break right now, but I do want to say this. As Cole's manager, he is going to come in and sign as an advisor. So stop giving it away for free unless it's Jeremy, okay? You can give Jeremy stuff for free. Stop giving it away for free. I got you lined up as a professional advisor.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
I like it.
You think I'm playing around?
No, I like it. I
No,
do.
I'm not. So stop giving it away for free right now.
Advisor.
No, okay. Hey, Jeremy, I know, sorry to eat and run. Special show today. I wish you could stick around, but I know you got to go. I know you got to take care of business, man. But we're going to see each other again soon on a different platform. But we're going to continue to grind. I'm going to give some tickets away. I'm going to review the streamers and what they say, what the notes are. Me and Cole both be at the event. The Fighters Voice team will be at the event supporting. So if you need anything from us at all, any type of promotion, or you say, Rich, we missed this fighter, can you come in and give him a soundbite, a little quick interview? Consider it done.
Yeah, I think you guys should get Albert on pretty soon.
Okay.
He has a great story.
Can you arrange that?
Yeah, no problem. No,
Great.
We love great stories because those are the kind of things that keep kids coming in.
Anything you want to leave all the viewers and listeners to, my man?
No, man. Thanks for having me on. As always, you know what I mean. It's fun, and it's good to see Cole, man. Cause he's one of my all-time favorites.
Oh man, Cole's
Glad
fire.
you can make
Cole's
me glad.
fire. Don't want to turn them off, but one thing we do got to turn off is this mic. If we don't pay our bills, we'll come right back here on AM 1680, The Fighter's Voice.
You are listening to The Fighter's Voice on AM 1680.
Right now, we got to take a break.
We got pizza.
Okay, I love pizza.
And I don't even know what's in the special cookies yet. What's up with the cookies?
Well, Jeremy took one with him. There's something, a little special something in one of the cookies there. It was originally for Woody, the engineer, and he left. Actually wanted a brownie, but that wouldn't work. Yeah.
Dude, I'm going to examine like every one of these freaking cookies before I take one. And the one that...
Don't hit me, Rich. Don't hit me.
Just break me down with some of that fight talk. The fighter's voice. Right here. And remember, every fighter has a voice. And so do you. So let's get ready to you know what. Right here. On the
30 to
Fighter's
40 minutes
Voice.
after you eat the cookie.
And we're live. We're here, back right here, but Cole keeps interrupting me here on the Fighter's Voice radio show. A special show today. You'll never, ever hear one like this ever again. In studio with us tonight is the young, the strong, and the talented. In his last tournament in Germany, he won the oldest European boxing tournament, defeating top boxers from Germany, Russia, Cuba, and I can go on. And reading his resume, it's stacked, I can say. The man is stacked. He's ready to go. Enough said. Now back to ringside. Ladies and gentlemen, for your main event of the evening, fighting out of the red corner, representing the super heavyweight division in Team USA, Richard Torrez Jr. What's up, young man? Welcome to the Fighter's Voice radio show, live stream.
What's up? What's up? It's good to be here.
Yeah, you know what? Tell us about you just being here today, because I know you were tired. I know you literally just landed today, so to speak, and you're here in studio. None of this phone call stuff. You're here in studio in the flesh. Tell us about that.
Yeah, you got to be here. You know, it's an amazing experience to be on the show. So whenever I get the opportunity, I'd love to be on it. Yeah, like you said, I just got off the plane, a little tired, you know, a little jet lag, but I always want to be here. So,
you know, Cole's a fighter himself. He's a UFC veteran, Cole Escovedo, the Apache Kid. And even though your size was there, he was still kind of sizing you up right there. And I noticed that's just that fighter in him, right? Yeah. That's just that fighter in him.
I can't walk into a room without at least knowing where the exit is and who is going to be a problem in the room. Like, I can't do it. Everywhere I go, I'm like, all right, well, that guy looks like he's going to be a problem. So does that guy. Okay, well, there's a window.
Well, his dad's the problem. I mean, who do you think showed him how to kick ass? I mean, it started right there, the root. The root.
The room is dangerous. The second you walk in, I'm like, okay.
Well, actually, the toughest one is Mrs. Torres. I mean, 'cause I met her last time, class act, nice woman, nice lady, and she enjoys our show.
What I want to know is Dad a good salesman?
Oh, of course.
He has to be in order to sales pitch fighting for a living for his son to mom.
Oh,
in order to tell me, like, look, honey, I think violent combat sports might be the way for our son to go. I know college. I know. We said college before. So to do that, I bet Mom had to be kind of offset at first, like against it, or was she all for it?
Oh, no, definitely. She was against it at first. But, you know, after that, like, 4-year battle, finally allowed it to happen.
And I bet the first time she saw your blood, that just reset all over again.
Oh,
all that work
definitely.
Right out the window.
I remember when I'd be 8 years old and sparring, and if I got hit or something, I'd run over to my mom and start crying. Because, you know, I was a little kid. And getting hit as a little kid, it hurt. So my mom, right after that, I wouldn't want to box. So she wouldn't want me boxing again. But little and little again, my dad would get me back in the ring, back in the gym, and, you know, just had to stick to it.
There you go.
I've trained kids like that before. They get cut, and the biggest thing they're worried about is
speaking
their mom.
about cut, I mean, in that tournament, weren't you were cut, right? And then you got how many stitches?
It must have been like 20 underneath stitches. The doctor had.
And you still competed in that tournament.
Oh, heck yeah!
Talk to us about that experience.
So a little background. Before in Bulgaria, I had gotten cut, and I beat the Russian that cut me, but the coaches took me out of the tournament, and I was devastated, man. I really wanted to fight. So going again to Germany this time, I got cut my first fight again. I was like, no, I'm fighting no matter what. I'm fighting again. I told the coaches. I told Coach Billy, my head coach, he said, I don't know if we're gonna do this. If you get hit there again, you might get cut open. It'll slice different. I told him I'm not gonna get hit there again. So with that attitude and everything like that, he let me keep going, and I didn't get hit there again.
How many fights did you have after that cut?
I had 3 more fights in the next 3 days.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice. That's with stitches in and everything. That's hard.
How do those fights go?
That's a hard spot to get hit now.
I won unanimously on each of the fight. I dropped the Indian, and I stopped that fight in the first round, so that gave me a little bit of leeway for the finals against the Cuban. I went in against the Cuban. He was back when he was younger, he was a youth Olympic champion. So he had some experience behind that. He was about 25, 26 now. And
Cubans are tough.
Yeah, no doubt.
Cuban boxing kids are tough, man.
They make great amateurs.
Yeah.
And I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let's talk the truth here.
There we go. Heck
Sweet
yeah.
science, yeah.
But yeah. So the Cuban was a tough fight, but I was able to edge that one out too, and I just was able to take that cup home. So
There you go, man. Awesome. Now, what does the future hold? I know what the grand prize is, but you continue to excel. You continue to grow. Last time we took a picture, we were looking eye to eye. Now I'm looking up, and it's not just the hair.
there we go. Yeah. In the future, I mean, especially next year. Next year's gonna be a really big year. We have WSB, which is an Olympic qualifier. We have Pan Am Games. We have Continentals, and we also have the World Championships. World Championships and WSB are Olympic qualifiers. So winning nationals in December and continuing on the path that I'm on is really looking likely for me to be in the 2020s.
Man, there you go, and sky's the limit. So when you're wearing that robe, when you're wearing all the essentials of Team USA, I know you're going to make time somewhere, somehow, even if you got to call overseas for the Fighter's Voice radio show. You going to make that happen, my man?
Oh, heck yeah.
Will
no
you
doubt.
accept the call?
Anytime.
Okay. You're going to wake us up. We'll probably have to shoot like 3 o'clock in the morning our time because he's going to be out doing his thing.
So when you're doing all this, is this all on you and dad and mom's dime? I mean, not yours, but is it all on mom and dad's dime? How's that work with this? Because it's amateur level, but it's Olympic stuff, but it's amateur level, so you're not getting paid for it.
Well, right. Actually, now in USA Boxing, I do get a siphon.
Oh, okay,
So,
cool. So there's
yeah.
been some.
You have a
some-
residency.
There's
Yeah.
been some updates to the living cycles of being a Olympic level athlete. There's like,
Exactly.
hey, they started to realize you got to eat. Yeah.
Yeah. So now it's now you get a siphon. Everything's paid for. USA Boxing pays for everything.
So your flight, your hotel room. Okay,
Exactly,
cool.
everything
Nice.
like that.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Who was the last American heavyweight to have a residency?
I think it was Wilder.
Exactly. Who is the heavyweight champion of the world?
Current.
Yes, current.
Okay,
Current.
cool.
Was the last person to have a
So
residency.
the last one
like
in
this young
his
man.
position,
Yes, yes.
it led to a future
Correct?
world championship.
correct. That's
Nice.
correct.
You got to like that feeling then.
Yeah, it was.
Knowing you're doing already, things are already saying you're doing something right.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, just being in the shoes that I've been in, just following the same path that I've been on since I was 8, and the path is continuing to be successful,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I just really like that.
Nice. That's got to be a real confidence
Bro,
booster.
he's like a Tommy Morrison with the chin, a Rocky Marciano, and a Mike Tyson.
I was going to say,
and
the
I'm-
hair
and I'm
kind of
not-
got that
hey,
Tommy Gunn look to
That's
the
how
hair.
I would describe him, but with hand speed. I mean, Tyson had hand speed, but
Yeah.
he had short arms.
Yeah.
I mean, that's...
And he smiles.
Yeah,
Bro,
Kid
he
smiles.
hit a guy in the ring. I mean, he literally, off his feet, and I kept doing it in slow motion. Pete Lopes gave me the sample of it, and I'm watching it slow motion. His feet literally went off the ground.
Nice.
That wasn't nice for the other
We're
guy.
gonna motion
He was
captains
out.
for like video games.
yeah.
God.
So now you said 2020 is where you're looking at next for your Olympics. How far do you see this? Like at one point you had to say, I want to do this for so long, or is this more of a decision made of, I'm going to do this as long as I can?
So at first, it was the Olympics was the one goal. So the Olympics, that was the dream, that was the thing that was going to happen. Continuing to boxing, I mean, might as well get paid for it now, I
Okay.
mean, might as well get a bigger purse.
Yeah.
If you're going to get punched in the head, yeah.
exactly. I've been doing it long enough, so I might as well get something out of it.
Exactly.
I do plan on going pro after my 2020 debut in Tokyo. And after that, it's whatever happens. I actually want to get into the game, get some money, get out. I don't want to get punch drunk. I don't want to be one of those fighters
Good for you.
that was say he
Extended
was
past their shelf life.
Yeah, exactly.
You
I
don't
want-
want to take one fight too many. That's the biggest thing is just
Cole
one too
loves
many,
hearing
man.
that because he gives great advice all the time.
Dude,
he does it for
I
free,
love hearing
but
that.
after we sign, he's not going to be giving it away
Well,
for
no,
free no
'cause
more.
it-
You can be on the
dude,
free list. You and
I love seeing
Luchau's
good
son.
fighters that have a head on their shoulders. There's so many good fighters
Yeah.
that are just like, oh, I'm gonna get that money. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. Dude, no. He's got a shelf life. He realizes
That's
it. He's
because
seen
of
it,
the
and he
base.
knows.
That's
Yeah.
because of the base, and I don't have time to go on and on. That's the base, and that's not just the dad, his grandfather, bro.
That's just-
the DNA where it runs thick.
DNA and just good upbringing, I guess. Is
Yeah,
the easiest way to say
exactly.
It, man.
And I want to say this: as you see, I'm wearing the wild card hat. I wore it on purpose because I know you were on. I went to wild card gym, and I'll be real fast. He's sparring with full-grown men, right? So then Richard's calling me. He called me later. Hey, how they do? And I'm trying to hear what they're saying. When they leave, I think at the time you were 18. There was this way. He goes, no, there ain't no damn way that kid's 18. No, they brought him in here. That kid, he ain't no freaking 18.
It's like watching that kid on the Little League World Series. There's no way that kid's 12 years
No,
old.
this dude was smashing him up.
No way, yeah.
I was actually there with Miguel Cotto, doing the interview with Miguel Cotto, his last interview in the States before he left to New York. I just had to throw that plug in. The Fighter's Voice got that. Bam. Listen, I'm going to have your dad on in a little while, so we're going to take a commercial break, and we'll come right back here. You stay in the studios here. Richard Ortiz here with the Fighter's Voice, Co Escovedo, Richard Torrez, coming back here on AM 1680, The Answer.
You are listening to The Fighter's Voice on AM 1680.
Right now, we gotta take a break. You know.
Pay some bills. So be ready for some head banging, lip smacking, heart attacking, fight talk. Because every fighter has a voice.
Change spots.
Good. Dude,
Stay
that was
here,
awesome.
though.
That was
Stay
good.
here.
That was great answers, bro.
Yes.
That was awesome.
No, he was hit. He was boom, professional.
That is exactly what I want.
People love that in and out, point, boom. Nobody twisted your arm. It was all you. Boom. That's good stuff. That's from experience of just interviewing.
That punch drunk thing you were talking about and stuff, a lot of that doesn't really come from the fights themselves. Remember that. That's not a lot from the fighting. It's from the training, the sparring too hard. Sparring with headgear under the assumption that I've got headgear on, so rack me, bro, because I've got headgear on. Nah, dude. Robbie Lawler started to see the effects, and he started to change some of the training. Donald Cerrone has followed suit. A lot of big-name fighters have started to follow suit of they sparred light with no headgear on, and the other guy has boxing gloves on and shin pads and everything, and he doesn't go balls out. It's, I'm just going to try to hit you enough to where you're like, cookie crap, I should have blocked that one. Like, that stung, I should have blocked that. Like, they're not, like, you're playing a hard game of tag, though. Not just tag. It's, you hit them to where it's like, dude, you got cracked right there. I mean, it's going to stumble you, but you're wearing headgear under the assumption that you can get hit harder. Now there's some control. He doesn't want to crack your block up, but he needs to hit you and let you know, get your block up, dude. Right. That is what you do for long-term training. This old school of put headgear on and just go to town on each other, that's where you get all these early concussions, all this brain damage, all this Parkinson's, all this other stuff that you see. Ask Freddie Roach, dude. He'll agree with it. He'll be like, yeah, dude, lighter sparring, more tech, more all that is where it's at. It's longevity of training. So
yeah, I think I remember my dad talking about that. Like, it's the major things in sparring, actually. Like, it's not even in the fights. It's in
dude, I've been more hurt in training than I have fights. It's just really, it's ridiculous because fights are over so fast sometimes. That's all. But yeah, I like it.
Let's roll. He just gave away the best content on the show off on our commercial.
Nah, because we get to talk to Dad about his ideas as far as how I keep my son's shelf life as long as it can, and he has the best opportunity.
That's it. That's it, my
baby.
man. That's it. That's
you.
it.
Come on.
Cole,
Don't hit me, Rich. Don't hit me.
Just break me down with some of that fight talk. The Fighter's Voice. Right here. And remember, every fighter has a voice. And so do you. So let's get ready to you know what. Right here on The Fighter's Voice.
and we're back here in Fresno, California. Live stream on my Facebook page, Richard Ortiz. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, The Fighter's Voice at gmail.com. No, that's my email. TheFightersVoice.com or at The Fighter's Voice, my Instagram. This is part 4, and it's called The Last Round. And it's the last round that we're going to knock out these bills. Mr. Cole Escovedo, knock them out.
Knock him out like a left hook, man. Helping
There
us
you
keep
go.
these chairs comfy. I like it.
And
dude.
there's pizza right here.
The pizza, dude. I love it. No, Serrano's Furniture, family owned. 9 locations, man. They've been doing
9.
it since '86.
9.
I only have 10 fingers.
That's right.
But that's a long time.
It is a long
They've
time.
been doing it over 30 years. That's
There you
all.
are.
That's all you need to know as far as a furniture store goes and your mom and pop stores goes. They
Why
come
do I
and
got
they
skin
go.
on me?
Man, why do I got skin on me? But they come and they go.
Inside joke.
They've been doing this for over 30 years, though. So if they've been doing it this long, they haven't changed their name, they haven't filed bankruptcy,
Right.
they're doing something right. So family-owned, family-operated, 9 locations: Bakersfield, Delano, Dinuba, Fresno, Hanford, Madera, Tulare, Visalia. Did I say Bakersfield?
Yes,
I said
you did.
Bakersfield
Yes, you
because
did.
Porterville's important too.
Yes,
so
it
remember,
is.
if you
So
need
is Oregon.
furniture, Oregon's really important.
Yes,
So
yes.
they've got something going on. But
Yes,
if
they
you
do.
need them, family-owned, go check them out. They've got a summer sale going on. It's like 40 to 50% on so many different things. I'm going to go check on a futon because I got one, but it's a little comfy. I want something better. So,
Yeah.
But then you've also got Main Event Gyms,
Main
man.
Event's Gyms,
They're
heard
the
of
ones
that.
keeping the mics on, okay?
Yep.
So you got a
Big
punch
Al
a bag,
Perez, Big Al Senior and
sweat,
Junior.
treadmills,
Tommy.
all that stuff. You want to hit them up? Hit them up. They're a good gym. You got to go in there and sweat. It's a fun atmosphere if you want to have
It
fun
is.
while you're working out.
It is. Talking about having fun. We had Richard Torrez Jr. on the show, and we talked about his attributes. We talked about his decision-making and just making all the right moves in his foundation, but none of that would not be possible without his father, and that's Richard Torrez Sr. Richard Torrez, welcome to the show, my man, The Fighter's Voice. It's always a pleasure to have you.
Richard, thanks for having us.
Oh, man, it's a pleasure, my man. And I know you got some, go put the mic up a little bit right there. There you
Got
go.
it.
There you go. I know you got some news for us. I know you got an event coming up. Share that with us, please.
You know what? I have the 19th annual Manuel Torres Boxing Classic. Manuel Torres is my dad. He started the association, Central California Association. He passed away in 2000. 1999 was the first year we had it. He was able to see and be part of it. I've been carrying on ever since. It started by Visalia, Art Alafa, and we're just going to continue it. It's on October 27th, 28th. It is a venue for all the fighters in Central California and across the state and nation, if they come in, to showcase their talents. You know, we had international fights last year. Every other year, we put Manitour's International Boxing Classic, international in quotes, because we do bring teams from Canada. We had teams from England, from France, from Italy in the past. So we went at the Palace one time.
Oh, there you go. Wow, that's great, and that's going to take place in Tulare.
That's in Tulare at Tulare Western High School.
Okay, my man. I mean, the Fighters Voice team is going to have to be there. We're going to have to make an appearance there. And I know we talked a little bit about a date there, because I asked I asked who your ring announcer was.
Hey, my ring announcer is Richard Ortiz.
There you are.
Oh, man,
We're
I
gonna
like
go
it.
make that happen right there. Anything to give back to the kids, man. A class act right here.
Hey,
definitely.
real quick. Speaking of giving back, though, I
Yes.
wanted to give back some bits of information that I can.
Let me hear what you got.
Okay, so you remember like this really cool cat named Chuck Liddell?
Yes, actually, I got a story to
Do you
talk to
remember
him about
another
that.
cool cat named Tito Ortiz?
Ortiz? Yeah, I love the name.
Man, guess what?
Guess what? What?
We're getting
Golden Boy?
We're
What?
getting a third fight, man. It's going to be November 24th.
Wait, hold on. I heard rumor, so what do you mean we're getting a third fight?
It's happening.
Is there a stamp?
We're getting it. It's November 24th. It looks like it's going to be in California, in like Inglewood.
Really?
And it's going to be on pay-per-view. So you can really start narrowing down the promoters here that are going to be throwing on pay-per-view events. It's not UFC.
Right.
It's not Bellator. Who's that lead?
Is it the Golden one?
Who's jumping into the MMA ring? Is it De La Hoya? Is he throwing
It's
his hat in
Golden
the
Boy,
ring?
yeah.
Golden Boy.
I
looks
heard
like
he's
they're-
throwing his hat in the ring.
They're throwing
And
the
the
hat in
cage
ring.
now.
Yeah, they're throwing it in the cage. So it looks like it's going to be a pretty big card, like pretty big. So
Okay.
when we have some more information on it, I'll start leaking you guys some stuff, because somebody we know might. So, but that's happening. So
Okay.
we're going to get a Liddell Ortiz
Okay.
3, guys. So for those who've been waiting for that, it's coming.
It's
November
coming.
24th,
It's
pay-per-view.
coming. It's coming, especially what's coming for the Fighter's Voice. We're going to be touching on Oregon, Portland, Oregon. We're expanding, man.
Cool.
We got something in the make. We got something that's brewing. You know, it's getting ready to explode. And I really can't say too much about it, but just remember Oregon. And actually, I want to call that the home of Victor Morales Jr., who's going to go toe-to-toe with Fresno's own, oh my gosh, Isidro, the technician, Ochoa. And we're going to talk about that fight, because we're going to talk about the Ramirez fight. We're going to talk about Triple G, and even though we got a couple minutes, but I want to talk to you about that special fight. I know if you watch these young men grow up and come together, let's talk about that just briefly. What's your take on Isidro Ochoa from Fresno? What top rank, undefeated, against Victor Morales from Oregon, undefeated, two top contenders, and yet they're facing each other?
You know what? I got a strong place in my heart for the boy from California. He's going to do great. He's fast, strong, good ring generalship, thinks in the ring, thinks on his feet quickly, and I see a good night for him, a victory.
Very slick fighter, and he seems to be taking this fight in this part of his career very seriously. He went back to the Hall of Fame trainer, Robert Garcia. He's there right now in Riverside, and he's also working with Fresno's own Charles Tremley, who's the speed and agility coach for Jose Ramirez. And I do want to say this about Victor Morales. Class act, blue collar, doesn't take a play off. I mean, when I say play, he doesn't dog a play, I should say. Work ethic is 100. Awesome mom and dad, a foundation. And I see these guys getting ready to fight each other. And I broke bread with both families, and I'm there. And yet, that's the name of the game. That's the sport, the sweet science.
You know, they're going to go toe-to-toe in the ring, best man win, but they're going to come out respectful and shake hands.
Exactly.
There's so much in boxing, more so than MMA I've seen. There's so much cross training, so much cross sparring. Like, we bring you into our camp, he brings them into their camp, that you kind of have to accept that that's going to happen. Like, you're going to have to fight somebody you've already fought because they were bringing you in for a camp, or you brought them in
Exactly.
for a camp.
I don't want to stay too long on it, but these guys have futures, and I wish they would have kind of went out this way and
little
then
farther this way
come here.
first,
But they're going right here, and they're both with top rank.
Worst case scenario, they're both going to benefit from it. If they
Yeah,
both
I
do their
think so.
jobs, they'll both benefit.
I think so. And we got to talk about Jose Ramirez. September 14th, Save Mart Center, ESPN, going up against.
Title defense.
Last time I said Ochoa, it was Orozco. He was on the show a while back, and I got to correct that. Last time I called him Ochoa because we were talking about Ochoa. What's your take on that? Two undefeated Mexican fighters. And I do say Mexican because that's the day before Mexican Independence Day, and it's a big day in boxing besides Cinco de Mayo. What's your take on that?
You know, Jose Ramirez he's a man with a mission.
Yes.
You know, he's always focused. He's always trained hard. He's always, in shape. And I expect him to do just like he always has. just take it to this fighter and show him what belly shots and head shots look like. You know, it's gonna be an awesome job like he always does.
You know, someone asked me the other day. They said, "Richard, who does he compare to, or who would you compare him to?" And I said, you know what? I see flashes of Oscar De La Hoya, but I also see some Julio Cesar Chavez, and this is going to throw people for a loop. I see a little bit of Holyfield in him. Only the part is he goes in there with a game plan, but once he gets hit, he loses it for a second and just goes toe to toe like Evander. The play was out. I mean, the plan was out the book. He got hit. He's just right in your chest. So I kind of see that kind of mix. What's your assessment on the comparisons that I just made?
You know, with De La Hoya, he's kind of long, lanky fighter. He's got that nice hook.
Yeah, the 45.
You know, Chavez has got that belly shot, comes in, moving ahead. All those are good comparisons. I see with Holyfield, you're right, man. He gets tagged, he's coming at you and let you know he's going to get it back.
Yeah, exactly. Now, speaking of getting it back, we're getting the rematch back, Cole. Triple G. And, my gosh, Canelo, it's going to happen again. It's going to happen. There's no injuries. Fight camps are going good. Press conference is going good. In 30 seconds, I hate to cut it off short. Who do you have?
You know what? I had Triple G winning the first time. In my heart and my thoughts. He won it. I'm going to go with Triple G again. You know, maybe I'm going to get some backlash here with the Mexican population, but I got Triple G doing it.
You know what? I was rooting for Triple G the last time. I thought he pulled it off too, and this time I don't see it changing. But I do think that Canelo is going to make the adjustments. He looks to seem to want to make the adjustments to prove that it was just a fluke as far as him not showing all his attributes.
I tell you what, all respect to Canelo, man. He really earned my respect for him, because, man, he did an awesome job. He looked good, sharp, moving. He did everything he needed to do to win that fight.
And there he is. And as always, you've done an awesome job here on the Fighter's Voice Radio Show. It's a pleasure. Richard Torrez Sr. will be coming right back from commercial break here on AM 1680, The Fighter's Voice.
You are listening to The Fighter's Voice on AM 1680.
Right now, we gotta take a break. You know.
Pay some bills. So be ready for some head banging, lip smacking, heart attacking, fight talk. Because every fighter has a voice.
Okay. But if you would stick around, I appreciate that.
We're here.
You're part of this, what I'm going to say. Okay. Cole, if there's anything you want to say before I say anything, because it's kind of like adios, amigo here. But we're going to be announcing what we're going to be doing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
I only have, how much time do I have? Okay. Make sure, count me down, because I don't want to go too long, but I got to get some things down. I know. Okay, I'll watch it.
I mean, I got some information for what I do anyway that I can spiel.
Okay. Yeah. Just need about 2 solid at least to thank everybody.
Yeah, dude. No, I'm gonna take like less than 30.
Okay.
I'm just gonna spit out what I got going on this weekend.
I'm gonna let you open it up.
And promoting what we do.
I'm gonna let you open it up. Yes.
How many on the card for the 14th?
You got that kid Ortega that's on there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's the up-and-comer. I was hearing that Ochoa fight's going to be the opening fight, which I hope not. Gosh dang it, I have the card. I think it's 6.
Okay.
6. I'm not sure they're going to put the other kid on there. I can't say officially, but there was another Fresno kid, Madera kid that was going to be on there. I don't think he's going to be on there after all. So it hasn't been announced yet, so I don't really want to say it.
Is this like Jerry Maguire?
Kind of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of.
Dude, I love that.
Kind of.
You have my utmost attention.
Yeah, kind of.
You have my undivided attention, sir. Bravo.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Let's ready to rock and roll, my man. Let's ready to rock and roll.
I will be professional.
Yes, please. I will too. I think I'm
no.
high ground. I don't know what I'm going to say.
But I just thought it was hilarious that I thought of that reference because I was like, I gotta think about.
Yeah.
Don't hit me, Rich. Don't hit me.
Just break me down with some of that fight talk. The Fighter's Voice. Right here. And remember, every fighter has a voice. And so do you. So let's get ready to you know what. Right here on The Fighter's Voice.
And we're back here in Fresno, California, streaming live in Fresno, California, here in Studio at AM 1680, The Answer. This is our closing segments. I'm going to let Mr. Co Escovedo, the Apache Kid, start us off, and I'm going to slide right on in.
Oh, man. Real quick, I'll just, everybody knows, I work at the casino. I work at Club One downtown. It's Labor Day this weekend. We got our No Limit Hold'em $30,000 Labor Day tournament going on. It's a multi-day event, $150 buy-in, $30K up for grab. You got Saturday and Sunday, both events to Sunday. If you want to make Sunday, you got to play Saturday or Sunday. You can pre-reg. If not, come on down to the casino. We'll get you squared away. Other than that, man, that's about it. I got nothing too fancy coming up.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Well, Cole, let me start off by saying this. I appreciate you, my man. Cole Escovedo's here in studio right now with a boxer only because I tricked him. Because he said, Rich, I'm only going to come on the show when you're dealing with MMA because he's a freaking genius. But I see the fire. So I just said, I'll see you at Wednesday. He goes, okay, amigo. Showed up, and it was a boxer. So he's like, but he kept rocking the show. And now he's here. I got the best co-host in the world, and that's Cole Escovedo. Ladies and gentlemen, I have an announcement to make. I'm sure you care or you don't care, but I'm going to tell you, this is my last time on the microphone for the Fighter's Voice at AM 1680. The last time here, today. Tuesday, we're going to start Knockout Radio from 6 to 7 on my live stream Facebook page.
The stream team.
Yes. Now, Wednesday, the very next day, making its debut, history in the making, is the Fighter's Voice Kick-Ass Podcast, uncensored, unfiltered, having fun. I'm giving you a whole acre to run around and have some fun with. That'll be 6 to 7. And the main thing is consistency. Every Tuesday from 6 to 7, every Wednesday from 6 to 7 on my Facebook page live stream. Look for the Knockout Radio to come to you on your dial 1010, my friend. Very soon, we'll keep you posted. I want to say thank you to Al Sr. Perez for giving me the opportunity. Al Perez Jr. for believing in me. I was on a treadmill. I need to get back on there. He said, hey, I got a radio show. You interested in radio? Absolutely. Let's go. I came here, no script, nothing, just threw me in the water. And he knew I would grow. I want to thank Rick Merigium. I've watched him, and he showed me a different side to the business that I was never exposed to. I want to thank some of our guests. One of the premier guests that I had, who I made a co-host, was Co Escovedo. And I loved him being a guest. And also, I'll say Andy Vincent. He took me to another level. I want to say the Flores family, because they came all the way to the show from Stockton, California in the middle of the rain, and they made it here happen. We've had guests on the show that now have their own show. We've had people that are working for different radio shows that started here. I wish you well. You guys got talent. Continue to do what you're doing. The Fighter's Voice radio show is a platform for the fighter. Remember, every fighter has a voice, and so do you. In case I run out of time, I dedicate this show, as always, to my son. Te quiero mucho, mijo. I love you with all my heart. Thumbs up for Richie. We're not going nowheres, like George Lopez said. Tuesday, 6 to 7. Follow me on stream on Knockout Radio. Wednesday, the Kick-Ass Podcast. The Fighter's Voice is alive. It's a brand. It's going to be a household name. The Fighter's Voice, the only voice. And remember, we are more than just a voice. Thank you all. Love you all as we go down to this 10 count. Co Escovedo, if I miss somebody, don't get upset. I love you all. It's a wrap here in Fresno, California. Thumbs up for Richie. Boom, baby. Yes. Take some cookies. Take some cookies.
I like it.
So, yeah.
That was good, by the way. That was good. That was very good.
Good job.
But that's what we're going to do.
I was waiting for
Sometimes,
the
like your dad will say, you get the dice and you got to throw one day. You may be down at points, and he's going to say you got to stay in the pocket because you're not going to win decision. You got to take that.
Cookies, yeah.
No, go for it. So we're throwing the dice. I believe in our talent. I believe in the opportunities we got.
Yep.
And boom. I
Good
see us
stuff,
doing
man.
it. Yeah, absolutely. You got to
Good
believe in
stuff.
yourself, my
Yep.
man. You do.
If you don't, who will?
Exactly. And if you don't promote yourself, who will?
Yep, you gotta do it. Exactly.
So, as I shared with your dad, there's other people. They throw jabs and stuff. And after talking to our team, it's not even worth responding. It's always good to take the higher road.
Got to. And so to get into what's that? If you roll around with pigs, you get dirty and they get dirty. Nobody gets
Nobody gets clean.
Yeah.
Nothing gets done.
Exactly.
I gotta grow up my mustache though. I'm way behind.
Uh,
I'm way behind.
That's a G right here, man.
Man,
You see him last
dude.
time he was in a suit and stuff, bro. It's the principal.
No shit. Where?
at a continuation
Okay, cool.
at Tulare Tech Prep.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's
So,
actually a really good spot, man. You get the most opportunity to do the most good.
man, I tell you what, it's a good.
Yeah,
It's a good spot. Good job.
I got a
Rough
16 year
kid.
old, man. I feel you.
What was that?
I got two 16